Hello, my name is Shuttle. We're back for another episode of Scandinavian Superpower in Vicky 2, and in previous episodes, the Social Democrats took over and we were mostly raking in a lot of cash, to be fair, and some coastal fortifications in Norway, for example, and that sort of stuff. We got a lot of money. I think at this stage we need to start thinking about who could we declare war on. Now, I know that Prussia is actually still quite strong, and our army is actually relatively weak in the grand scheme of things. We can't increase the military spending, but we have at least the fundings for these to be maxed. Industrial subsidies are actually quite high right now. Oh, the closed factory in Jutland is costing us a lot, as well as the one in Norge. Oh, no, we're actually losing a little bit of money. Well, we wait for a day. Okay, right, so we kind of need to figure out who could we declare war on. Oh, Mecklenburg wants to ally me. You know what, I'll take that. That may prove to be useful distraction later on. Oh, and trench system. More defenses on the troops, good. So how good defenses do we have? For example, the infantry, 13 defense, okay. Discipline is 100. So I'm guessing the guards have a bit higher. No, they don't have higher discipline. Maybe that's some other text. Oh. Oh, right. Old and new. Amendment party. Okay, a fertilizer factory in Christiania has been completed. So let's have a look at that should be in Ostland right now. Yes, it's been opened quite recently. It doesn't have a massive amount of workers in there. Oh, and more defense. Good. Although that does mean that the supply consumption is going to be a bit high. Oh! Wait a minute. Russia has abandoned their alliance with me. Can I form an alliance with... No. Too many alliances. Other sphere... Oh, wait a minute. Am I in sphere of Prussia now? I am protected by Prussia. So, if we have a look at the Great Powers list... I am in the Prussian sphere. Okay, can I form an alliance with them? They will not accept. Okay. Well, I can improve relations with Prussia, because I think Prussia might be a better ally in retaking Finland, at least. If we can actually get in there, of course. Oh, but that might also mean why we can't buy a lot of fabrics anymore, because we're in a sphere and Prussia probably doesn't produce a lot. Or the Prussian sphere doesn't produce a lot. Alright, let's have a look. Unemployment subsidies is the largest one, so I suppose we'll go for the trinket one. It does mean that the social spending is going to be... it's not massive yet. But it is going to get higher and higher. Naval base is in Lübeck, and... Oh, right, that means that we can now get the... Ironclad. So is Ironclad a heavy ship, or... Oh, we get monitors. Okay, so let's see. This is weight 3 and weight 3. This is a bit slower. Ironclad is a bit faster. Attack 20, hull 16, firing 60. Monitor is 15, 21, and 9. But this is faster. We'll build one of these in Karlskrona, I think. Oh, hold on a minute. Is the Ironclads... Because I can build monitors in either one. Ironclads might be the kind of stronger one. It takes about the same time to build. So I'm going to build one of each. Just to kind of see what they are capable of doing. Also seems to be costing quite a bit. So Jutland does have a fair bit of factory workers that are currently unemployed. Which is less than ideal, admittedly. Right, so does Russia... Well, the relations with them are going to go down because we do still have the claims on them. We did do the army stuff, so we can now do the naval decision making. Start improving the fleet a little bit further, and then we're going to do the... Maybe the Impressionism. Or experimental... So, no, I think we're going to go with the Impressionism, and then maybe get some more commerce stuff, or... Maybe actually naval stuff. Max base level and quicker fleet building. Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Right, can I improve relations with Prussia again? I can. At least they are protecting me. So is there... hold on a minute. Protected by... If we have a look at, for example, someone like Denmark, they are protected by UK. Right, so that shows whose sphere you are in. Essentially. So did you... I am still allied to Krakow. But yeah, Prussia has a massive sphere. Well, it's a lot of small nations, to be fair. I don't think you can fight a war in a sphere. I was wondering, or within the sphere. Because if I could... Not allowed to negotiate with satellites or dominions. Okay, so I can't actually do anything about Holstein directly, because they are, well, I suppose they are under Denmark, and Denmark is in the UK sphere. Speaking of UK, how much of an army do you have? Just out of curiosity. Oh wow, 235 brigades. Okay, that's something that I'm willing to poke my head into. Right, well, we've got that. I think I'm going to switch the commerce raiders into their separate fleet soon. Well, actually, I'll do that now. Right, so commerce fleet. So we'll call this the raider. Okay, that didn't go quite as planned. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we've got the raider fleet. I'm going to move that to Karlskrona right now. I'll have this one as a transport fleet. I'll put in the heavier ships into this one as well. So still making at least some money, which is quite nice. Right, so Prussia, can I form an alliance? They would not accept cause negative relations. Okay, so if we just improve relations, you will ally me, I reckon. And that wouldn't actually be a terrible ally, all things considered. That would be at least close. And yeah. So there's still a lot of notifications about Russia doing things. But yeah, no longer allied with Russia, so the... We are neighbours at peace, but valleys casus bellis means that there is potentially going to be a war with them. They are allied with France, Austria, and Krakow, though. I'm allied to Austria as well, to be fair. But France is pretty strong. Ottomans and Krakow, Well, anti-slavery convention. I'll go for more liberal. Because we've got over £100,000 now, that's not too bad. I'm going to start speeding up the speed again. Or rather, increasing the speed a bit more. Right, but we still have a bit of a problem with trying to get into... That's a great powers list. Oh, right, separatism. National Rebel Organization. Oh. That's unintended consequences of the stuff. So, Danish Liberation Movement has gained a little bit more... Oh. Cannot enact social or political reforms right now. Well, Navy organization goes up. So let's go ahead and get the Impressionism. Then we might get the steel steamers. That is going to increase the speed of the fleets quite a bit, and then we can get the cruisers and battleship eventually. Not immediately, I don't think, but eventually. And we are still building the Ironclad and Monitor. Those are going to take some time. Oh, ammunition factory in Aarhus. Good. That seems to be doing some profit, I reckon. Jylland. It is making oh, now they're making a small arms factory. Well, of course they are. Sometimes the capitalists are a bit silly in what they decide to build, but oh well. Okay, there we go. We got the Ironclad in here. This one in here. Why are we taking attrition here? They would just not have enough, Huh. Could it be that the sail-based ships are no longer available? Like, well, there might not be production of the... I actually wonder. Clipper convoys. The price is skyrocketing there. If we have a look at the price through here, I don't think we are making any. Is anyone else making any? Well, it doesn't tell me there. Suppose we can check it through here still. No, there's still some production, but it's no one probably selling. So yeah, that is basically meaning that we are going to have to get rid of those ships. Okay, now they are no longer having the attrition there, but yeah, no, I'm just gonna build 5 steam transports. We'll build them in Aalborg, Strummen. Not gonna build in Hammerfest because that's a bit far away. Lübeck, Karlskrona, and Stockholm. So we can get replacement ships, and then we can get rid of the old ones. Because we are at least building the steamer convoys. And we get some more prestige in the future, that's good. Now, we can't get anything from the army research right now. I could get some over here. Actually, the combustion engine might be pretty decent at this stage. So I'm gonna do that. Because farming and mining output, factory output efficiency goes up again. Good, so total points that we have is now, let's actually have a look. Alright, the prestige has dropped quite drastically, but yeah, we have 200 and almost 300 points actually. Yeah, 280. Navy organization goes up. So I'm still improving relations with Prussia, but I think soon we'll be able to ally them. We're going to need a bit more Diplo points, but I'm pretty sure that we're gaining them at decent speed. And I believe we started building up the steam transports now. One by one. More prestige, good. Send all of these here. International crisis. Oh, right, let's have a look at the crisis then. So we got France backing Austria and United Kingdom backing Hungary. Oh. Liberation of Hungary. Interesting. Some of the ships there. I don't think we have a lot of other ships there. I think now we got all of them in here. So I'm just gonna create a new unit. Clipper transports. And I will disband this unit. Because they are a bit slower, and especially since we don't produce any Clipper convoys anymore, there's not a lot of people in the world that are producing them. That means that we'll be able to get a bit more out of this. Oh, steel factory in Göteborg has been upgraded. Or built, I'm not entirely sure which way. So Russian Empire discredited France in Ottoman Empire. UK has discredited Netherlands and Denmark. Japan, Russia discredited Japan in Mongolia and France in Krakow. Okay, let's actually, just out of curiosity, create powers in our own nation. Oh, Prussia discredited France. Okay, we are in the Prussian sphere, of course, and we're friendly with Russia, or, yeah. I suppose we are friendly with them. Interesting. But that does mean that since we're in the Prussian sphere, they are getting a lot of steel to be... Oh. Trouble is brewing. It seems that Prussia has decided to join the current crisis on the side of the UK. Oh. Interesting. Now this would be actually pretty cool. So France and Russia on the Austrian side, and then Prussia and UK are on the Hungarian side. Now if Italy was to join on the UK side, and maybe even Netherlands, that would be quite a massive war. Something that would be quite interesting to see, and maybe that would weaken Russia a lot. Because if that's the case, then my goodness, that would be really nice. So we've got quite a bit of forts still underway. An election starting. I'm going to build a fort in Riepen. We already got a fort in there. Maybe another fort over there. And maybe one in Aarhus. Just to get a little bit of protection for the industrial... Well, actually, the entire state is going to be fortified then. lightly, but it's going to be fortified. You know what? I'm going to build a... I'm going to try to go for interventionalism a little bit more. Right, but I'm going to build another ironclad, I think. They use the same resources, but... oh, right. Could be that ironclads can only be built in provinces of your own culture, whereas monitors can be built anywhere, or once you have a high enough level. That would actually explain a thing or two. Oh, nope, I didn't mean to do that. Also, something that I realized, I don't have a naval base in this state yet. I think this is going to be good enough. We'll build one there just so that we can build a bit more ships later on. And it's going to give us a bit more naval supply. And yes, I didn't actually start building the fleet yet, so we'll build one there and... oh, white piece of the crisis. So, no war. Oh, bollocks. I just realised, because Austria would have been in the war, they might have called me into their side on the war. It's probably a good thing that they didn't then start the war, although, I don't know, might have been quite interesting. Okay, combustion engines has been researched. 1889. Is there going to be anything that is going to unlock very soon? 1898. Organic chemistry. That would allow us to get the dye factory eventually, and factory throughput. That wouldn't be bad. On the other hand, commerce, there's the admin efficiency, tax efficiency. This would give us a lot of prestige. Plus factory input efficiency, diplomatic influence, factory cost, factory throughput. But there's a lot of things that we could do, and at the same time, I'm going to do the steel steamers actually, because that's going to increase the ship speed. And at this stage, it might be good enough, or good for us to do. Right, so let's improve relations with Prussia again. We're getting closer and closer to allying them. We'll let people have their faith. Pluralism is quite useful in this game. So we still need a lot more clerks. Explosive factory in Bergen. Oh. Russia discredited France in Krakow. And UK discredited Russia in Denmark. Well then. I guess 2 can play that game. Oh, actually, 8 can play that game. If I'm all honest here, but yeah, we're going to start building up the fleet a little bit with some more modernized ships. We got the commerce raiders, we'll probably get a few more ships into this fleet eventually. But actually, are these... problem military, yes. So yes, the ironclads and the mortars both count as heavy ships. So that's going to give us a bit more... ooh. Election finished. So it's the Liberal Party again at the lead, and suddenly the score from military jumped amazingly. Not entirely sure if that's just more leaders that were recruited or more point... no. Must be both... oh, actually, let's have a look at the budget. So we can increase the military spending, and I'm kind of tempted to increase that, although... oh, crap. We're not giving any subsidies anymore. That means that a lot of factories are not going to be operational anymore. Oh. Any conflict with at least 2 great powers on each side will be regarded as a great war. Interesting. So there's no great war ongoing right now. Oh, we've got the naval base in Drummond. Good. I actually wonder, can we build a monitor in Drummond then? Or Ironclad? We can. Okay, so it's in accepted cultures where you can build those. But now there's a massive deficit. Stockpile purchases are quite expensive. Are we still buying some things for... well, yes and no. Not entirely sure what's happening, but it's quite... oh, the taxes went down again. Bollocks. Now, let's see what's happening. So how's the admin... Just wondering, we get about 60 points of research per day right now, which is honestly not bad. Also losing a ton of money, and there seems to be a lot of factories that are going bankrupt right now. Because there's no subsidies whatsoever. We cannot give any. There's not going to be any. And since the taxes are lowered, that's quite bad for us, actually. I'm going to lower the army funding to 75% and navy funding to 80%. That might give us a bit more room. Oh, we got ourselves the ironclad, and I believe the other one is going to be done soon. Indeed. So that's 10 ships. Oh, Aberazen. Now I wonder if frigates are going to be a... No, the cruisers, are they going to be a light ship or a heavy ship? Probably a light ship, to be fair. At least that's kind of where I'd probably put them. They're still losing a ton of money. At this stage, it might be a good idea to increase some productions. So that's metallurgy. Sulfur, iron production, sulfur, coal. But yeah, that would be quite nice. At the same time, there's probably a lot of naval stuff that we could do. Naval base max level. On the other hand, commerce now might be a good idea to increase the tax efficiency again. Just looking which one would give us the... I suppose it's the central banking that would give us the most. Oh, hold on. The Swedish Armed Cruiser Association was formed in 1912 in order to raise money for the purchase of modern coastal defense cruiser for the Swedish Army. The project met a great deal of popular success, and the association was, within a mere 100 days, able to present His Majesty Gustav V with a sum of some 50 million kroner, which would eventually be used to commission the HMS Sverige, launch in 1915. Ooh, I'll take that. Oh, and we can have another focus. Okay, well, is there... Where we can see population levels. Population density. Well, it doesn't see... Oh, right. It's the red stuff is the high density. Oh, right, okay. So now that we focus it on Sweden, we can see a little bit easier. It's actually quite easy. Okay, and I think Jylland might want to get a textile... Well, not necessarily textile, shipping industry. Hold on a minute. What sort of factories do we have in here again? I don't remember. We could technically encourage shipping industry, for example, in here. This honestly wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. Or consumer goods. What have we... Oh, hold on a minute. Let's have a look at the factories. So... Oslandet? I suppose consumer goods might be alright. There's glass, canned food... Well, canned food is more military stuff, to be fair. What about Norrland? That is mostly... It's a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? Fertilizer, paper mills... I don't know. I'm going to increase the wood industry in Norrland. Wood industry, there we go. Conservative Party has been... Oh, right. Defund. Oh, yeah, it's no longer a thing, let's put it that way, I think. Okay, so we're still paying through the nose for all of the stuff. Oh, but we have a lot of colonial power now. Oh, I didn't realise we had a rebellion spring up. Oh, that was the communist artillery. Huh. Okay. Wasn't expecting that, to be fair. Right, so if I wanted to do a war... Is there anyone that I could declare war on? Because I know that Denmark is in the sphere with UK. They also ally with Hanover. I suppose... Well, Hanover is in the same sphere, so I'm pretty sure that I cannot declare war. This country is in the same sphere of influence, so no, we cannot declare anyone on the same sphere. I could declare on Denmark, but I'm not entirely sure. That would probably bring in UK, and I reckon that's not something I want to do. So that leaves a bit of the limited options here. Speaking of which, I'm not actually allied with Prussia yet, so let's increase relations with there. We have a lot of infamy, or room for infamy though, so that would be quite something to take into account. Now, to be fair, Russia is always technically an option, but while they are the strongest military power, at least they got the most troops. Not entirely sure if they are the strongest, per se, but in theory. So that is going to be a bit of a problem, but we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!